Right, Don.
Right, Peter.
Were a good-looking Pete. What did you do with that test meter, Don? Go on. Tell the people what you did with it. What did I do with it?
Dropped it in the fucking water.
In the where?
In the water.
In the water. We accidentally dropped the test meter in the water on the way out, which we really did need after about 10 minutes, didn't we?
But, you know, we've been on this boat 20 times and never used the test meter.
I know,
once.
and now we needed it.
The time we needed it, we dropped it in the water.
So we try to dry it out. You can dry these things out most of the times. Well, I don't think it's going to work. Anyway, I digress.
You do that a lot.
Right, so we wanted to wire the telly up 12 volts straight to the battery. Well, it's actually going to go to the panel in a minute, but to the battery first. We had two connections. Well, normally on these Chinese wires, 12 volt wires, one will either have a stripe on it, which this one does. If you look, it's got a white stripe all the way down it. I don't know if you can see it. That denotes positive. The other one's negative. But some nice Chinese person, who shall not be named, Mr. Kwang Wok from Beijing, has actually wired this one up. White line, as you can see down it. He's wired this one up.
Backwards.
Backwards.
But actually, looking at that, that's a homemade thing, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's that Chinese man. It's a bloke from Korea. We'll blame him.
Yeah.
That's worth going to war for, isn't it? The fact that he's... In fact, he's probably doing that in Korea now. Changing the wires over.
Hopefully, that's what it's on.
Yeah, in the bombs. Yeah, every time you send one of them rockets up is down and down is up. It's a bit like the Westerly gears, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, we tried it with this one first, but we didn't have a tester to try. We presumed that the white line was positive, and it blew the telly. So anyway, we've got the proper one now that we know is proper. We know it was wired the right way around. Telly was not working. So, I'll show you a quick strip. There's not a lot you can do. It'll only be diodes in it, either 4 diodes, 1 diode. Or in this case, I'll show you. Or let me just strip it. Easy to strip. If you're ever stuck somewhere and you need to do it, there'll be a few screws on the outside. And the other little trick they do on TVs, monitors, anything like that. It's like most electrical things. You need a plectrum or something like that, because there'll be little connections inside, like this one on top, like that one, all the way along the outside. Basically that's holding the monitor together rather than the screws. Once you undo them, you'll find you can get the back off. Sorry if it's moving about a bit, but as you see, this one, I'll try and get the camera. If we had another cameraman like Don, but his tongue out trying to fix that at the moment. Don't pull that apart too much. You'll find out there's plenty of connections inside. Just unplug any of these connections. Like that one. Gives you a bit more room. They normally come out quite easy, like that one did. As you see with this one, there's a DVD player inside it. As you see in this one, there's one more connection. And that's it. Your back's off now. Put that safe. Not a lot inside them. Normally just 2 boards in all TVs or monitors. Logic board and a power board. This one's actually got the power board and logic board all in one. Normally the chip on here will tell you that it's the graphics chip. This is the tripler. Yeah, tripler normal this, isn't it?
On the power side, yeah.
What's it called on the LCDs?
I'm not sure what they call it on.
You know, the little board that they have on the LCD one.
Power board, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a tripler basically. It's the one that's supplying the two, if they have them. This one is a bit of a cheap one. Most monitors have 2, this must be an LCD as well, this one. Most monitors have two fluorescent tubes running the length of the monitor. That's what gives you your brightness on monitors. So we've got a monitor that's gone dark. Either one or two of them have gone. They very, very rarely go, the tubes. Very rarely, because they're very hard to get out as well. I think this is an LCD, yes, an LCD, this one. But normally, if it's the one with the tubes in, there will be two of these plugs. One going to obviously the bottom one and one going to the top one. So it's an LCD, this. Cam reader for reading dodgy cards if you want to get foreign channels. One connection for the screen, easy to repair. Well, what we're doing on this one is the power, which is here, 12 volts. There is no diodes in line. Cheap one. Well, if there is, it's that Surface one down there. That's the smallest diode you've ever seen in your life. It was a fuse on this one, basically. There'll always be a fuse in line on the positive. Well, it's strange for this one, it's actually got a capacitor before the fuse, and the capacitor's bulging. Most times when you get TVs or monitors and they stop working, if the red light's coming on and that's about it, or the red light's coming on and going straight off afterwards, you take the backs off, 30 pence, new capacitor, fixed. Simple as that. Don't be going spending £200, even if it's a 30 inch, 40 inch, 50 inch, 60 inch, it'll be a capacitor 99% of the time. Cheap capacitors. Replace that and it'll be working again perfect. This one, it's not totally gone. The fuse had gone, but again we didn't have a tester to test the fuse, so what we've done is we just hot wired the fuse straight across. Not a very good idea normally, but I do it all the time. But I won't advise other people to do it. Yes, do it. Anything for cheap to say, Don.
Yeah.
Fuse 30 pence, wire nothing.
Yeah. Bit lying around.
Well, we knew what was going to happen anyway, because when we put the piece of wire across it now, it's got a good connection. It's not. We could have done with it. We didn't even have a soldering iron, so it's just tied around it. I'll put the sat back on now. It's working perfectly all right. And as long as you don't put them wires the wrong way around ever again, which we'll never do, it'll work for another 20 years. Well, 2 years you get our monitors and all these caps go, so you need to replace them all after that. Cheap nasty one, that's a graphic chip under there with the heatsink on. That's about it. It's very cheap and nasty. Normally, like I say, 2 boards, normally, and you can just buy the power board or the graphic board, whichever one's gone, and replace it. Or, like I say, on the other versions that do have the lights top and bottom, they have another small board that runs the lights as well. 99% of the time the lights have not gone, it's actually this board, something's gone on here. Again, this one will have a fuse on it, this isn't the actual one I'm talking about, but normally it's about the same size, it will have a fuse on it, that would have gone. Repair the fuse and you're back up again, your backlights are working perfectly alright. That works for monitors, TVs, laptops, anything like that. We've done gazillions of them, haven't we, Don?
We have.
We think we've done a few repairs on TVs and monitors.
Just a few too many.
Yeah, is that working? Have you fixed it?
Almost working.
Is it?
Yeah, it is
almost. What's almost? Are we actually getting any LCD?
We're getting a little dot on.
Oh, that's alright. We'll try out. So anyway, I'll shove this back together now and we'll show you working. Some good looking Don. And good looking Pete. See you soon. We had about 8 million seagulls out a minute ago. I'm going to show you out there.